Violation charge, Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3F, stagnant water. The suggested recommendation by the code enforcement officer is a lien in the amount of $28,000 for the 112 days of non-compliance. Violation charged would be rubbish. These are my pictures from April 23rd, 2024. Again, some more pictures. The one to the right is he has done some yard work, but he leaves the pile of rubbish in the front by the roadway. And here's some more of the rubbish on the roadway. The Code Enforcement Board issue an order constituting a lien in the amount of $11,200 for the 112 days of non-compliance. Violation charge, abandoned vehicle. These are pictures taken on April 23rd, 2024, showing that this vehicle has flat tires. This is an older classic Corvette that Mr. Garan stated that both vehicles would not start. Based on the findings of fact, conclusions of law and order, the Code Enforcement Board issue an order constituting a lien in the amount of $11,200 for the 112 days of noncompliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for officer judges on any three of these cases?
The autos, she pointed to two autos that she said would not start. She doesn't make an appointment when she comes out. The one car is my son's. He was diagnosed with MS. He can't drive, so he doesn't maintain insurance or or register a car that he can't drive. Okay, the Corvette is a classic car, and I have a two-car garage with one car in it. The Corvette could be in it or out of, depending on what I'm doing to it. If she ever made an appointment, instead of coming at 9 o'clock in the morning unexpectedly and said, I want to come tomorrow, can you start the car? I could charge the battery and start it up, but that's not the way it goes. Okay, those cars are not abandoned. Okay, so that's the status of those. They're not abandoned, that's baloney. You want to go on?
Well, we need to be specific to the lien request. You're starting to get into the
facts.
case.
I'm getting into the facts.
The case, yeah, and those facts were presented, or whatever facts he presented in regards to the case to this board, and determination was made, giving you a compliance date. That wasn't adhered to, and that's why we're here today, because there's a request for a lien on the table. So,
but I'd like to talk about the so-called stagnant water. She came out to look at the property and the pool. And my son raised, what does my son do with the pool? You've said it here, so it's on the record.
Okay, you can tell them, Mr. Garan. Go ahead.
He raises fish in the pool, from little fish to catfish. Okay? Now, the charge is stagnant water, isn't it?
Do you believe you're in compliance?
Of not having stagnant water? Absolutely.
Okay.
So here are three samples of water. The pool, the retention pond, and tap water. I had those when she came out, I had four. She wouldn't so much as go over and smell them or look at them. She was this far from the mugs of water at that time, she wouldn't even bother to look. She had two cops with her that day. They went back to the pool, and her thing has always been, you gotta see the bottom of the pool. Well, to do that, you gotta look. She wouldn't come close enough to look in the pool, and you could see the bottom, okay? And then she had made up her mind before she got there. She turns around and leaves, and that's it. The cops, they wouldn't look either.
How about the rubbish?
The cuttings that are still by the road?
Thank you.
I wouldn't call it rubbish. I would call it trimmings from trees and bushes still there.
Do you have any intention at all of meeting with the officer and making the changes that she's asked you to make to the property with these three issues?
My point is the pool and vehicles are in compliance.
My question
I'll
is...
meet with her about the rubbish. You're calling rubbish. I'm calling trimmings.
I'm not going to even argue, but I'm just asking you, do you have any intention to meet with the officer to bring the property into compliance as you've been asked to do?
Oh, yeah, I do.
The rubbish or cuttings, as it were, I would make a motion to go with staff recommendation.
okay, though you have a motion on the floor, Ms. Townsend, second by Mr. Ross, imposing a lien for $11,200 for 112 days of noncompliance. All in favor, say aye.
I think we should accept the staff's recommendation on all of them.
Okay.
Well, I have a question first.
Okay.
On 23-25 on the abandoned vehicles,
They're not abandoned.
it's his contention these are not the vehicles that were cited in November of '21?
They were along with them, but he has gotten rid of some. But yes, these have been there since 2021.
Okay, so
Yes.
these also have been there for 2.5 years?
Yes.
On this one, which is $28,000 lien to be imposed and continue to accrue at $250 a day as long as the violation continues to exist. Motion by, goodness, where was I?
By me.
Mr. Ross, second by Mr. Simon. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? To accept staff's recommendation of imposing a lien in the amount of $11,200 for the 112 days of noncompliance and continuing to accrue at $100 per day for each day the violation continues. Motion by Mr. Ross, second by Mr. Simon. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay.